sound here.
Charlie said we're going live.
Okay.
Oh, I should probably put a peeragogy.org banner up, huh?
Okay,
have we attended to our peeragogy.org site lately?
It exists. As to attend it, I don't know, but it exists.
Okay, let's just go for this guy.
Is there?
Sorry?
Let me know when it's time to turn off the rolling.
Okay, yeah, you could. Yes, this is beautiful music, but yeah, I think there's like a delay here, so I think I'm just gonna use my laptop on the
Is there any latency?
You said there's a delay, so I guess that's maybe not with the laptop, but with some other device.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. Oh, thank you.
Take that back.
Sorry.
Yes. Thank you. So once you're ready.
I did start it, so we can clip it off, but you know.
Yeah, I think for anyone who's watching live, this will be exciting. Anyone who's watching a replay, that's great.
Right, and then I am. I'm ready to pair.
So I see some pair button back here. We should show this. Oh, here. Mine again.
Flow 8. Yeah.
That's the problem with the concept of Bluetooth is that now there's like 50 Bluetooth devices within range, and they're all called like 8517. And it's like the person who lives in the apartment over here's TV or whatever. You know.
Okay. I think that was it. Can you hear us, Charlotte and Joe?
Yep, I hear you loud and clear on my Bluetooth 1875 headphones.
Yep. Great. Okay. All right. Get started here. So we have hi everybody. Thanks for coming. So we have 2 people here. And Ben and Anna in the audience. And you okay with being on camera? Okay. No. This is the yes. This is our audience here.
Hey guys.
Hey. All right. So thank you for coming to the Peeragogy Handbook Editathon and game nights. So I'm Charlie. I'm one of the co-editors and authors of the Peeragogy Handbook. And then next, Charlotte, you want to introduce yourself, please?
I'm Charlotte Pierce. I'm a publisher, and I've been working with these yahoos for about 12 years. No, 14 years. I need to get headphones because I've got an echo.
I think it's maybe Charlie has to mute when we're talking.
Maybe, yeah, that's right.
And that. Anyway, so I'll introduce myself next while Charlotte is getting her headphones. She can introduce herself again. I'm Joe. I've similarly been working with these folks for the same amount of time. Although I will say I met Charlie in 2010 at a Wikimania event in Gdansk. And I understand Charlie's going to talk about Wiki and Peeragogy still being relevant. Was that 2010? So that's 16 years later, still relevant.
I think it was, like 2010 or 11. But yeah, you and Charlie were before.
Before there was a Peeragogy project.
Indeed. All right. Was that having me muted? Was that okay for the stream audio?
It was great. Yeah, no feedback at that point.
Okay, great. All right, and thank you, Peter. the handbook, please. Okay. So this is the third edition of the handbook. Yeah, so we've been working together for about 16 years. This one came out in 2016. The first one, yes, the first one was in 2012, and then Peeragogy came about because Joe and I met at Wikimania, which, if you're not familiar, is the annual conference for Wikipedia, and they have it on a different continent each year. And we went in 2010 to the event in Gdansk, Poland, and we were there, and we both gave presentations about some previous open source projects we did, and then open source learning projects, and then we attended each other's, and then later that year, the peer-to-peer university started online. The peer-to-peer university was a website where you could come and create these learning circles. Oh, hi, Mary. And then create these learning circles, and then you would, and you could, about any topic. And so it was like, peers would come together, and then Joe did a course about math, and I did a course about sports analytics. And both of us, we had some people participate, but then they kind of left. And then so we were kind of talking about why it didn't, when we signed up for each other's courses, talking about why it didn't work. And then Joe came up with this word called peeragogy. And so para, the study, and Greek roots of production. And then we started researching that, and we wrote a paper about that, and about it turned out that there's a lot of literature about pedagogy. So people at the front, like right now, front of the room, giving information to people at the back. That's been around since the Middle Ages, not before, and formally studied for at least 200 years. And then, but there wasn't a lot of literature about how people learn from each other in a non-hierarchical setting. And that has happened. Obviously, it happened with when humans first made fire. They didn't go to Harvard or something to learn how to make fire. They figured it out from one another and passed it along. And then more recently, whether it's people who are making a new music genre or innovating, the people who are at the forefront, they're not going to school for that. They're learning it and they're doing it together, or software code, especially in the 70s and 80s. So we came up with this word, and then Howard Rheingold, who got to know, he made it a little easier with peeragogy. And then so peeragogy, and then brought a group of people together. That's when Charlotte and Joe and I got together. And then then Mary came along soon afterwards, and has been collaborating. And so we put together the handbook. This is the third one, and then you can also find it. You can find it here, of course, or you buy it from Quimby's, awesome store, Quimby's. And then what's the best place for zines? Check out Quimby's. Ooh. And then Quimby's, and then you can also you can find it online and edit it, and it's also licensed, so you can adapt it. And then, but yeah, that's any questions so far?
So when I first started working here, it was 6 months ago, right? You and I think Joe,
yes,
brought in the previous edition,
right? Well, that was an earlier printing of this one.
Oh, okay.
That was actually, that's this. Yes.
So I guess my question was because this is continually being peer developed and edited, right? How often do you feel compelled to kind of pull together a snapshot of that in a printed version?
Yes.
This is number 3.
This is number 3, yes. Yeah. And so we've been kind of on hiatus for a decade. With that. Okay. So we did 2012, 2014, and then 2016. And then maybe I'll let someone on the panel take that. I don't know, Joe or Charlotte, if you want to comment on that.
Yeah. In the meantime, we've published a bunch of papers, but I think our intention was to write a version of that handbook every year. And then we found it exhausting and we couldn't keep up with that. And then our intention was to maybe revise it as a set of mini handbooks. And actually, we were quite inspired by visiting Quimby's and thinking about zines, which Charlie's been involved with other zine production projects, and thinking, if we could make this little cute box set rather than one big handbook, which you actually can't even really carry in your hand because it's too big. You make a number of little handbooks. That might be a better fit. So I think watch this space. The other thing that Charlie's going to talk about is the wiki that anyone can edit. So the idea of having an editathon so that we make sure that we have content that is up to date and relevant to people is probably even more important than having a print edition. But we've talked and thought a lot about it. One of the things that we talked about with Charlie was having a a writing retreat where we would just get together for a week and produce a version of the book based on what we have. We didn't do that this year, but we did have this amazing event set up. So this is a start towards having a number of people gathering from around the world. I see more people are joining now too, it looks like. Around the world, including New York, all sides of New York, it looks like.
Debbie, your video is a little bit low.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway,
All
so
right.
the long story short is that we would love to have another version of the handbook come out yet, but we haven't done it yet. So that's the long story.
And we're gonna, so currently there's we've taken tasks, we've done other things, but then there's and also because it's like we've kind of been a blocker because we've had others, this isn't our full-time job and things come up and things, and so try and like work with more peers. And like the greatest example, I think one of the great examples of peer learning or peer production is Wikipedia, which is like an encyclopedia that's more accurate than the Encyclopedia Britannica made by experts, and like only website in the top 10 of the world that's nonprofit run. And so they also have a sister project called Wiki Books, where they use a similar approach to making books. And so that is so that's kind of the current version of the handbook, and we can do that online. But also I printed off a few pages of that, so if you want tonight, we're gonna look at that and edit that together and start working on the next handbook. And then we're gonna have the online version. But yes, like Joe said, we like to make, especially here at Quimby, make a zine mini handbooks as the next print version. Because also feedback we got, this isn't, it's fun, and but it's for people who it can be, if you love peeragogy, this is great, but it can be a little intimidating for if you want to just get started with it. It's a big text. And so I'm gonna have and we have that exists now, so kind of complimentary text. Hey, thanks for joining Mary and Sri Devi. Mary, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm a clinical professor at Pace University, and I'm a board member of the Pattern Language of Programs Hillside. So
Awesome. Thank you. And then and Sri Devi, are you able? Okay. And then Mary's based in New York, and there's a Quimby's New York as well. Is that connected or?
It's run by the founder of Quimby's.
Oh, okay. That is
Steven Zimbersky.
That's Steven Zimbersky.
He
Okay.
founded this one.
Got it.
In 19.
Okay.
We use the same brand, the same name, and he's the same person who founded this one. But we have no business relationship.
Okay.
Aside from the fact we occasionally give each other's Venmos. We have to be like, yo, are you for like a Venmo? We don't know what for.
Nice. Okay. So nice. Okay. Great. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Indeed. All right. Open culture. Okay. Yeah. So okay. Any questions at this point? All right. Well, I think let's Charlotte, do you want to add anything about Charlotte? So Charlotte owns Pierce Press, which is one of the publishers of the handbook, and they also Charlotte also publishes lots of her own books, and she's got an event coming back. Charlotte, do you want to just talk about the publishing process a little bit and Pierce Press?
Yeah. I have 3 imprints with the Peeragogy books, which is alternative education and related things, and children's environmental books, mostly picture books at this point. I just acquired a new one, and then the Day Tripper books, which is kind of magical family destinations in different regions. So that is so far restricted to the Boston area, but I'm working on other editions and an online version. But Charlie and I are co-publishers of the Peeragogy Handbook, and I think I'm kind of like the practical applications voice for Peeragogy. I'd like to see it implemented in real life situations. So I try and use it in my different endeavors, and I think it's been very successful in some of the publishing groups that I have put together. It's I do collaborative publishing, not just a traditional, acquisitions and royalties. But I collaborate with my authors. So.
Nice. Yeah. And I think, well, especially talking about publishing here, independent publishing in this, this temple of independent publishing that we're in now. Yeah, I think so. The independent publishing people making zines, I assume there's courses you can go to now to make zines and things, but also a lot of it is especially innovating, is observing from other people and learning and trying it out on your own, making it with others and failing. And then, but yeah, it exists outside of, well, there is publishing that exists in hierarchical fashion, but a lot of it is non-hierarchical. And then also, certainly we're hybrid event here. So Peeragogy it's been around for a long time, but the internet has amplified it and able to collaborate in a way that's just really makes it much easier now than it was in the past. Okay, so I think we're going to move into the next phase here, and so we can either collaboratively edit some of the handbook together, and then the edits will go into the wiki book and the zine version that we're making, or we can play a game that is a way to think of in the game we're thinking of creative technological solutions to urban issues. So which would the people, any preference?
Charlie, do you want me to get a document up?
Yes. Why don't we let's do the game. Let's do the editing first, and then let's do the game. The game will be fun. And then yes, sure, I'll give you that, but I'm gonna explain the game first. Okay. So we're
okay, but what document do you want me to put up?
I will, if you can, Joe, could you find the link for the flaws of the smart city from the design friction, please? Thank you.
I'll have a look.
Okay. So this game is called Flaws of the Smart City, and we're gonna give a place, and then an issue, and then you're gonna think about the issue in the place, and there's actions. We'll start with 1 or 2 actions, and then try to think of a creative way to solve the issue. Okay. And yeah. Well, okay, be right back. There you go. Okay. And then also, hey, Sir Debbie. So I think for you all, the issue would be okay, and then you all can do this. You can do a screenshot of this. Your issue can be key to the city. Okay, so you have your issue, and then next you're going to have a place. Mark. Okay. And also, you could work individually, or you could work as one group. You want to have one group together, I think maybe given the size. Okay. Okay. All this, let's use Ben's cards. Yeah. Great. What about the
Yeah. Yep. We'll talk about our issue and I'll talk about so our issue is we're missing the human scale. Designing the city smarter often means observing people behaviors from a bird's eye view without focusing on the everydayness of the individual. It is missing the messiness of humanity, which will inevitably jam the quest for a logical urban system. City builders are still learning that dealing with humans is all about unpredictability, wildness, rationality, or digital illiteracy. We're at the train station, the main urban transportation hub, but also a small-scale city. It appears to be an inextricable mesh of accelerations and pauses served by commercial services and supported by efforts to maintain a rational and efficient system.
Okay, great. Questions? Okay,
And that's issue 14, place 9.
great. Okay, so then your actions. Hey, Victor, thanks for coming. Good, good. Okay. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. All right, we'll have actions. We'll give you visualize. Back. Good. Good. Okay, and then we're going, all right, so now, okay, so those actions. So I think I'm gonna try and find a way to solve the issue, see if those help you solve the issue.
Okay.
So visualize and try.
Yeah, okay, so visualize, as social and physical environments are getting more and more complex, they may lack legibility, making visual succeed when words fail to represent intricacies or to catch the attention of an audience. Visualizing reveals hegemonic processes that can highlight unexpected interactions, but isn't good to make everything apparent.
Correct. Digital devices just traces system. So both are digital physical presences and highly private spaces. These traces can be and recorded, tracking and aggregating them with anticipation and control.
Great. Okay. So do you feel like any, and then yeah, picture.
Charlie,
Yes.
it's hard to hear whoever's talking, so if you
Okay.
want to kind of recap what they said,
Yeah.
just briefly or.
I can do that. Okay,
Okay.
thank you. So the place is a train station. This is the main urban transportation hub, but also a small scale city. It appears to be an inextricable mesh of accelerations and pauses served by commercial efforts and supported by efforts to maintain a rational, efficient system. So we're in a train station, and then the issue is that they're missing the human scale. So designing the city smarter often means observing people's behaviors from a bird's eye view without focusing on the everydayness and the individual, missing the messiness of humanity, which will inevitably jam the quest for a perfect logical urban system. City builders are still learning that dealing with humans is all about unpredictability, wildness, irrationality, digital literacy. Okay, so we're missing the human scale at the train station. Everybody with me? Any questions from the group over there? Okay. Right. Okay. I got some of the guys here. Okay. And then more crew. Hey, how's it going? Good to have you. So you guys pull up a chair here. Okay.
What do you mean by human scale?
Like it's getting to yeah, here, please. Or it's yeah, you guys over here. You good? Hey. So human scale is like that it's not friendly. It's like it's treating the humans like ants. Like they're just like they're in the train station and they don't feel we just feel like pushed around like ants, so we don't feel like we have any agency or anything like that, or any human touch.
Got it.
Okay. So what are some ways that a train station could become less like intimidating? Like think about the L in Chicago. The L in Chicago. How often does that make you feel like you're not like you're just like a cog in the machine, rather than every time. Okay. For sure. And so any way that the L in Chicago, how could from a technology, there's some technology we could build that would make the L in Chicago more human, more friendly to humans, and we don't have to worry about, for the purpose of this, we don't have to worry about cost or practicality. It's like thinking creatively.
Guardrails. No one is going to stand on that platform.
Okay. Yes. Why? Safety first. Absolutely. Yeah. And then missing the human safety element of the scale, if you will. So okay. So guardrails, and because guardrails. I mean, certainly you would think guardrails could be built in a way in 2026 that would be still allow people to be safe, but then when they need to get on the train, they could move, right? So okay.
Like better. I mean, there's wayfinding, but it's kind of insufficient. Like especially when you're in an underground station in the loop, like and you're exiting. There's like 4 different locations you can exit. It says like your northwest corner or whatever. Yeah. But that doesn't, even if you lived here forever, like that really doesn't translate to you. So you don't really know where you're coming out. Yeah. And it's really hard to figure out when you exit the train, like where do I go for the red line? Like the sign is insufficient. It's like 1950s design.
Yes. So we're talking about the train stations in Chicago, and then Peter was saying how the something that can make them feel more human would be if there were wayfinding. So like specifically like where you go out, like which exit to go out, exactly which exit to go out based on where you are.
Humans picture they picture what it looks like on the corner. They're going to exit. They don't think about the quadrant, like typeset in Helvetica, so like imagery or like
pictures of the street
pictures,
above.
yeah, because also that eliminates the language problem in the city of Cairo with the languages. Yeah, right. The maps are getting through, but I mean, like all that stuff was designed at a time when the goal was to standardize everything and eliminate individual concerns for individuals. And now, boy, it doesn't do that successfully.
Yeah, I think to build on that, I think the infrastructure is really hard, right? But the humanity of it, the story, the experience, the affect of what people feel, I think you could play with that. So my thought is like, think of desire paths.
Yeah.
Kind of how people naturally go versus what's built. Something really interesting, like the Children's Hospital in Columbus, Ohio. They've got carpet with lines on it to help you navigate wherever you want to go, and color coded. And it's kind of a fun way to add an element to the experience for kids or families. Hospitals are scary places, right? Where you can navigate. And it's 1, helpful, 2, adds a little, how many places do you go? Are there like walkways where you can go? It might be interesting to like just play around with like desire paths through the built infrastructure of like cutting corners, or if someone was to parkour, you paint around the side. If someone like in New York, right? People are jumping turnstiles and stuff, and these new ones they just built. So you're not going to change. You could almost lean into the fact that this is a cold ass, hard ass built city that like, yeah, it's grimy, it's dirty, it's big, it's whatever. So we'll embrace that and then play with paths. Like if you're speeding, you got to go through. If you got to cut around the corner, we don't want you doing it, but we'll play with it. And just the fact that we put the intentionality of the design lets people buy into a story that like, yeah, we get that this is not an inviting space, to your point. But lots of places build into the identity of like, it's hard here. That's why we like it. So you can play around with it that way.
I also think that the different lines have different personalities.
Yeah.
Just be prepared for a rough day. One punctuality. Maybe you want to get a line, things like that. So sometimes like 2 things in that I wish these lines were designed with their personalities.
Not just like a color, but like what's the vibe?
Green mean, if I heard you're hopping on the pink line as an example, where are you going?
Nice. Okay, great. Well, I'm not sure how much were able to hear of that.
A bit. Can I add a really quick thought, which is if you ever look at an Amtrak map, Chicago is like the only city that like connects to everywhere. You can get north, south, east, west from Chicago, but if you're out west, you can't get north and south. You got to go from like the southwest all the way to Chicago, and then you go back out from Chicago to like Las Vegas or Seattle or whatever. So it's interesting because the human scale of the railway network in the US, it like all ends up in that station in Chicago because it's like the railway is not that connected. So I was just thinking maybe you Chicago residents would have an opinion about how your city relates to the rail network in the US. I think that
it's further proof that Chicago is the center of the universe, isn't it?
Wow, great. Yes.
Well, has anyone ever done a metro? Has anyone ever suffered the indignity of that?
Yeah.
But how?
Yeah. So like the part where you get off of the L and walk to Union Station is never something you're really thinking about until you're doing it. But if you're doing it every day, that part is the worst part. It's not that far, but it is far. You know, it adds a lot of time. And you're like outside.
For sure.
And it's like, it's crazy that they didn't ever think of that.
Pedestrian tunnel from
Or overpass or, because you're walking blocks and over the river and it just feels like a journey.
Yeah.
So you could say the frequency of the Metro. One thing you're missing is Metro Electric is the luxury line.
Yeah. Well, no, I just meant like having to commute with no car, you know, where you gotta cobble together this 45 minutes to the loop, 20-minute walk to Union Station, get on your 40-minute train.
Yeah.
Which where you're going, get on a pace bus or whatever every day, you know, that's like
kind of cross in between the different like
you're
types of lines. It's okay.
I mean, do they allow like musicians on the platforms and stuff?
yeah.
They have sometimes.
It's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, I was thinking like I love what you were saying about embracing kind of like what people do instead of what they're supposed to do. So like having not that anyone would follow it per se, but you know, like what if every L train had a designated crash out spot? Like the first car at the front of the car, like just do your thing. You know, you want to sleep here?
Fuck yeah.
Like, you know, and then just try to like encourage people like, hey, if you're gonna crash out in like your socks and your sweatpants, it's like, this is the spot.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
I'm always bracing myself for this. Oh Lord, I'm gonna meet weirdos on this one. With the blue line, I always get shocked when I see people who are like, oh, it belongs to the red line, you know.
Groups, it'd be nice to have the crash out spot. That'd be very, very human inclusive. Yeah. You keep that, yeah.
Like in the station, like this is the town square right here. You want to yell into space.
Here's the safer space to do that. Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay, great. Okay, and then so just be okay. That was anything else for the? Do you have any other ideas for the trains? And then about making them more.
What about elevators? Do they all have elevators? What if people can't walk?
They don't.
No, some do.
Some of the stations. Like,
Yeah.
The like loop ones that are right.
but it tends to be also like I've noticed that trains that serve more affluent areas are more likely to be accessible.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's unfortunate. And then, but yeah, so I mean, it's like similar
investing similarly in train stations and accessibility universally.
You know what I love at airports is, some airports, like I think Dallas, maybe, they have these ambassadors. They just kind of see if you look like you're wandering around and confused, and they're just like super nice ambassadors.
Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, having them to help out people guide through when they're confused.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you all for participating. Any other thoughts on the making trains more human or ideas? Want to share? Okay, so I think we came up with a situation and a problem, and then we came together to come up with some solutions and make it more human. And so that what we just did was an example of peeragogy in action. And so together we learned something, and we built something, and if we end up we could take these ideas to the powers that be, and then they can make some changes. But so that's an example. And then so now, like with that in your mind, we're going to walk into the final phase here of the evening, which is the Editathon. And so this, like I was saying, this is the full handbook. It's pretty long. It's kind of intimidating, but we're trying to make shorter versions. And then so this is and it's online. This is a wiki book. And then if anybody wants to, you can go to you can edit online wiki book directly. But I think it might be easier just to have here. So I'm gonna hand out one of these, and if you could, if you want to contribute, just like read it, mark it up, what could be better, and then we'll sign your name, and then we'll incorporate this into a zine version as well as the online wiki book version. Okay, everybody game? Okay. And sure. And there's markers on the table.
And people can do it online too.
They can, yes, and I will give a link for the online. Thank you.
I got it.
Markers. Okay. Yeah. Oh, great. Got it. Yes. So if you go to that, that edit button up there, over sharing, on the above latest. I'm not sure where your mouse is, but it's in the under like the 4 languages on the right. It drop down, and then one of them. Anyway, that edit button, yes, and a little left of there, perfect, and then yes, edit. So that one, people who are watching the stream, that is how you would edit the handbook live.
So you could actually make changes directly on this?
Yeah, it's like Wikipedia, and you don't have to be logged in. Some IP addresses are banned for certain reasons, but
apparently mine has not been banned yet.
Yes, and those who have an account, like I know Joe has an account, and then you can edit there. And so this is
this the same as Wikimedia, or Wikipedia?
Yeah, it's the same software as used for Wikipedia.
Same login.
Is part of the same nonprofit.
Same login.
It'll ask you to just create a poll.
If you have a unified login and you set it up, so I do, I'm getting a login verification code, so hopefully you do, if you're lucky.
Oh.
There are different pages. So, oh wait, well.
Yeah.
But keep going.
You were asking for edits on this?
Yeah, exactly.
So, what if, I don't know, so theoretically that any mistakes would be caught by the next person editing, or?
Yes, yeah, hopefully same as Wikipedia, conceptually.
Okay.
And then this will be the online version, and then we're gonna remix this into smaller print zines that fit more that are easier, shorter, and also that are more kind of fun and arty. And then, yeah, and then people who really want to dig in, they still have the full handbook ready for them. And then, okay. All right. Let's give another couple minutes and then we'll come back together.
Is there a way to track if people have been on and who's been on, or like?
Yeah.
All
Do the
anonymous?
view history button, then it has every edit. It's like two
Okay.
to the right. View history has all the changes that have ever been made. And who did it.
Charles Jeffrey Dano.
Yeah, and so this is also, so all Wikipedia articles have the same thing. So it keeps track of everybody who did it. And so you can refer back really cleanly. Okay, so everybody's finishing up. All right. Does anybody want to, no pressure, does anybody want to talk about what the article they read and any changes they made or suggestions?
Yeah, just in mind, welcome to the Peeragogy Handbook. And just at the end, it says it is addressed to everyone who is interested in learning and interested in how learning works. Whether you're an educator, a hobbyist, an artist, a student, employee, a parent, an activist, an archivist, a mathematician, a tennis player, and/or Think Learning School. I just kind of eliminated that list of everything, but kind of regardless of who you are.
Nice. A little streamline. Very cool. Hey, Casey. All right. Anybody else have any suggestions? Sure.
I can jump in and say I edited the Peeragogy Handbook, the Workscape, and I made a little live blog called Flaws of the Smart Workplace, and I just documented that we played this Flaws of the Smart City in a hybrid editathon at Quimby's Books, but actually it was a great conversation and fun, and doing something like that could be a fun way to get people talking to each other at work. I mean, this is more fun than I have at most days at my job, which is interesting. And so why don't workplaces employ the kind of stuff that Charlie's just facilitated over there to get people thinking creatively about how they can collaborate? So that's my contribution. Anyway, there you go.
And Charlie, that was one thing you contributed a long time ago, is like having fun, like in skateboarding or something. Didn't you write something?
Learning fun, like learning to skateboard is like people find that fun and they do it on their own all the time. But sometimes people, if they're forced to learn physics, it's not as fun. So it's like if you can make it fun regardless of the topic, then it can, like, you're more likely to do it. So yeah, and that fits in. And then this is, and you all are having fun here, and then we're even having some fun here on a Chicago Saturday night. So all right, and then we have one more audience suggestion here.
Yeah, so I like I think that's what these underlying terms are throughout. I think it would be nice to include like a hyperlink with like a page to that guy that you guys like, Ringgold. Maybe, yeah, include a hyperlink of like, yeah, page to an informational website of like Ringgold's.
Nice. Absolutely. Okay. Thank you. Anybody else?
I'm not particularly well versed in literature review of the field, but I assume when we say pedagogy is a collection of techniques, I would say it's a goji, right? It's like, it's a field of study, right? So there's a theoretical base, there's a literature base, there's there's praxis for sure. It's built on that. But I, to say it's a collection of techniques, I'd say it's, it's a field of study, or, I think there's a broader definition. I don't have the precise term there.
That's great feedback. Yeah. And I think,
Because I'm sure, and you guys have said, and Joe said too, right? You've all written or published about this, and obviously, like, knowing just some of the folks who've been authors, and like how wide's the net, right? So we talk about OER, right?
Yeah.
And surely that's there, and there's a whole. I know there's a whole body of literature around that. So I think there's a lot there to say, like, it's a collection of techniques. I'm being argumentative, of course, but I'd say that there's a field of study there.
yeah, no, that's good. Yes. And that makes it a lot broader. And I think we were trying to maybe like humble or, specific with the collection of techniques, but it has evolved. And then actually, yeah. And then on the, was actually somebody cited us this, Bracho, the Reimagining the Arts School. So this was, somebody cited the Peeragogy Handbook in this book, and this was written by somebody in Scotland, Neil Mulholland at there. And so this is, so we have been cited, and then I think we should update that be more, yes.
Yeah, great point. Well, speaking of art schools and practice, I think he really uses it quite a lot in his work. I've seen more recent videos where he's talking about peer learning and stuff like that. So, and I think just thinking about the arts and the art collaborations, maybe some of the books you could look around in the bookstore, probably several of them. Any graphic novel is likely to be collaboration, not just between an artist and a writer, but like a whole team creating that book. And as Charlotte can attest, any book has got a team behind it. When I was out visiting her, she was talking about how many people did you have involved with your most recent book? Like
The
12?
Ukrainian book?
Yeah, 15 people.
Well, there's a core of about 6, and then people come and go around the edges.
Yeah, so exactly. So peer learning in action. Okay. Well, I think that concludes any parting notes from the panel, or release the attendees into the Chicago night. All right. Well, thank you all panel. Thank you everybody for coming. Thank you, Quimby's, being off the store. You can buy the handbook on the way out. Thank you. All right.
Thanks, Charlie.
Bye,
Charlie. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's really fun. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll wind it down.
Yeah, bye for now.
Bye.